Yeah, the 4K, like, that's what I love about the 4K, because it's just like, actually, is there a 6K? Because I know there's a 6K, like, I've seen it on, if you watch, like, NFL or you watch the NBA these past, like,
which I don't.
few months, yeah, they have, like, before, like, they go into commercial break, they show, like, these angles with the players, and then they show, like, this quality camera view. I wish I'll show it to you like after like the podcast ends.
You said it was 6K or something.
I don't know if it's called 6K, but the quality just looks way better than a 4K. Like 4K is already as nice as it gets.
Yeah.
But then just like then that quality comes in and you're like, that ain't 4K. That looks like something else. That's why I have to like I'll show it to you like after the podcast. Okay. But welcome to the show, man.
All right. For me, bro.
Of course, man. How you been though? How's everything? I know we saw each other like twice already. Like this is our second time. The first time was kind of funny because like I was just like I haven't seen you in like 8 years. Just like Beans I haven't seen in 8 years. I think same thing with you, maybe less.
Bro. It's been insane, bro.
Yeah, what you been up to? I know work.
Everything, bro. It's funny. I was just with some. I was with one of my friends. He's an engineer.
Right.
Music engineer. So he's working on a new album. I was helping him out with that.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was having almost like the same exact conversation with him and his brother. Because we're just like, what have you been up to, man? It was just like, I've been doing literally everything.
like literally, I've
just been everywhere, bro. I'm all over the place. Every week, I'm somewhere different.
Oh man, that's awesome though.
I was supposed to be like 5 other places today, but you called me first, so I'm just like, this is where I'm at.
Dude, that's awesome though. It's like, don't you ever like get to that point where like you get exhausted and sometimes you kind of have to take a step back because you're going somewhere like all the time?
So far, not for what I'm doing right now.
Right.
So far. So I haven't experienced that yet, which is, we also talked about that. But I mean, if it ever does happen, I'll have to like, step back or something. So
yeah, because
like, I'm not forced to do any of this. Like this is all everyone's asking me whether or not I want to do this or do that, so I can say no anytime. Which I said no to 5 other people. So
Gotcha. Because I always felt like, for me, like, there's, like, times where I just, like, I would go somewhere, like, almost every day. And then, yeah, I would have, like, events on top of events. And sometimes, like, you kind of have to say no to someone, which sucks. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? Because, like, it always depends on what you feel like doing. Like, if you feel like you want to stay home, like, you stay home.
Stay home, which I've done plenty of times.
You do plenty of times, exactly. By the way, I do like I just want to know, like, why that attire? I love it. I just love it. It's just like that flair, bro. What brings you with that flair? What's that meaning?
Concealing my identity.
Oh, yeah.
So
trying to hide the identity, but it's like the vibe is mysterious and like sexy. No homo. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know, speaking of style, I've always known you had like that type of style. Like you always have like that kind of unique flair to yourself.
I don't know this was gonna come up.
Hey, listen,
I was like, no matter what I wear, you're gonna bring this topic.
I always got to. I need to find out like
the first time we met. Do you remember the first time you met when you came up to me in the library?
Yeah, like for like TXC.
Yeah,
when I tried to recruit you.
Like, bro, do you dance? He was like, do you break or something like that? I was like, what? How did you even figure that out? Like, what? And I think I asked you later on, and he was just like, it was your pants. It was like the way you dressed or something like that. I was just like, that's crazy.
I know. Even though it's that's not how you're like really supposed to judge it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you can't judge a book by its cover.
But you did correctly. So
surprisingly, or like fortunately, I was able to get lucky on that guess. But I do really want to know like what like influence you with this like that type of style that you have, you know what I mean?
I honestly don't know. I don't really it's not like I'm looking at anything and I'm seeing anything in like pop culture or anything like that. I think I just like see something on the internet, like the actual piece of clothing, and I'm just like, I like that, I'm gonna get that. So
I like that.
But I do say 2 specific styles that I do tend to like mix and match is probably like urban streetwear and like tech wear.
Tech
wear is hella expensive, but
I see. I
do my best with that.
Hey, no, you do a good job, like a phenomenal job. Because like, it's for me, it's not many that I see people that has that kind of style. Like I've seen people that have like that flair like you do, but it's like very very few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
see what you mean,
like including yourself. I think I only know like 3 people that have like their own unique style. Like it's like yours, but like they have like their own flair to it.
Yeah.
But I like that because like not many people can rock like what you wear. Like
I just like being different, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm walking around, everybody knows it's me.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's like one of those things where you like, I want to be the outcast. I want people to realize like yeah, everyone's wearing like simple shit, like, but I'm here, and
Exactly.
then you're like the first like look immediately when you get into like the dance floor, or when you get into like, I don't know, New York City, the first thing that people are gonna look at is you, because you got like a unique vibe to it.
And I'm just doing me, so
Yeah, and you're just doing you.
so
That's why I always like enjoy like seeing that kind of style that you vibe to.
appreciate
You know
it,
what I
man.
mean?
I appreciate
Yeah, no. I'm influenced. I'm already.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm already on it. Like, I'm about to like get my shades after this. And just kind of like, you know, just kind of vibe to the.
I remember the first time I wore joggers to CCM. Remember the camo ones? They're kind of like, they almost look like pajamas.
Yes,
And I
yes.
wore them
Oh my
because
gosh,
I saw
it
them
was-
on Plunder. And
What's that? What's Plunder?
I bought them, and I was like, "What the heck are these?" And I bought them, and I was wearing them, and I was like, "What are those? Are you wearing pajamas?" I was like, "No." And literally, like a year later, like everybody was wearing them. I was just like, "I guess it's just a thing now." I was like, "I don't know what this is. It is like what it is." So
Yeah, it's like what is that? But
sweatpants,
it's
like
sweatpants, joggers. I don't know, but I wore it because I want Chill to know it's a mystery. You know what I mean? Like,
and they're comfortable.
And they're comfortable as hell.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that was like the main like drawing for me. They look nice and they're comfortable and they're different. So
yeah, it's the style, and you feel comfortable. That's like what matters
that's
the most.
100% like the best piece of clothing is if you have comfortable clothing.
Exactly.
There's
yeah.
one specific outfit that I have that's literally 100% comfort. Like there's no other like goal towards the piece. But I wore it when I went upstate to collab with another YouTuber, Voki.
Vulcan.
Voki, yeah. So I think both times we went up there, I wore the whole fit pretty much the entire day.
Gotcha.
It's just comfortable. So I'm just like I can do whatever.
How often do you wear it though?
Not very often. The only time I wear it is usually at night because it's literally it's like this hoodie,
Right.
and on the inside, it's like some Nike hoodie that I got. It's like a salmon color or like a pinkish salmon color, and the inside is like clouds, bro. I'm not even, bro. The inside is literally clouds.
you are
bro.
you
put
clouds,
this junk
yeah.
on, you're going to sleep. Like,
Yeah, it's just like put it on. You're just like
sleep.
not even on the bed. You just kind of just like put it.
You put it exactly. That junk will knock you out. And then on top of that, I have this like pajama yukata type thing, and it's just like a big like cloak type. Bruh, the junk is so comfortable. I honestly was thinking about wearing it, but I was just like, it's way too hot for that. So
Yeah, I mean, especially like around this time right now, like
exactly.
we have to like relax on that.
So usually whenever I wear it, it's usually at night. So if I'm going out at night and it's like cool out, I'll wear it. Or if I'm sleeping over somewhere, because I'll sleep in it too. Like I'll do whatever in that junk. It's so comfortable.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. Moving forward, in terms of like what's it called? In terms of like, you know, doing things with your life, like, you know what I mean? Like you're busy with like hanging out with your friends, doing your own thing. Like what have you been doing like as of lately? Or have you been like producing stuff like that? Or you've been filming? You know, I know work was one of the things too, because you've been busy all the time.
Oh, of course. Well, work is always going to be a thing, because how else are you going to survive? You know what I mean?
yeah, get the dough for yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Survival.
And also it's used to support other things as well. So, well, shoot, man, where do I start? I do, I know for the longest time, maybe you didn't know, but a lot of people knew that I never had a phone like this at all. Like when I knew you. I just turned the camera on.
No, you're good.
But I had a slide phone. I had flip phones. I had slide phones for like the longest time, and then just a couple years ago, my phone broke, and I finally got this one.
Yeah,
but people thought I was against like upgrading and like I don't know, having new technology and stuff like that. So I didn't have like an Instagram for like the longest time.
I don't know if you still do. You even have an Instagram? I don't even know.
Exactly.
I'm trying to remember.
So literally, I have
man.
not told. I don't go out of my way to tell people that I have an Instagram. It's just whoever I'm linking up with now will find out that I have an Instagram. You know what I mean? So
can
I just made Can
I follow you? Like,
of course.
Where you been, man?
I just made one. I think when I got my car. When I got my car is when I made it, because initially I was thinking I'm gonna post stuff about my car and stuff, and like other stuff as well. So I do stuff about like posts about my car. I do posts about art, because I'm an artist. I do graphic design stuff.
Oh, of course, I know that. Yeah.
And then I do some filming as well. So I do some creative filming. So those are like the three main things that I do on my IG. So
Got you. Now, like, is that probably like a hobby for you?
Those are hobbies.
Those are hobbies.
Those are hobbies. However, the graphic design is I'd say is my main goal out of everything.
Right.
Is to do a clothing line. So, and the graphic design
cool.
plays into that as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's my main end goal, which, like I'm saying, there's so much stuff I'm doing, but certain things play into other things. Mm-hmm. So like the reason why I haven't started it yet is because I don't have room for inventory, like at all. Like I barely have room for the clothes I have now.
Right.
Like I have bags of clothes that I'm getting rid of because I don't have any room.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm actually trying to move out with one of my boys right now. We're trying to get a house.
Right, so that way you could probably get some more inventory, to have your startup going.
Exactly, and then on top of that, with us getting the house, he also helped me get my car. Mm-hmm. He wants to start a car club,
right,
and then do merch for the car club as well because I do like designs and stuff like that, which is easy.
That's dope. So that's dope.
If we do get this house, that's what will be happening.
Hey,
I'll be doing the clothing line, and we'll be doing the car club and merch and all that stuff.
So is your boy on it with you as well? Like you guys are teaming up or is he just a roommate? Like,
no. He's part of he's the one who wanted to start it. So I was like, let's do it, right? Because he knows I do designs and stuff like that.
Okay, got you. That's actually pretty cool though. Yeah. So that means that when you if you get popular, right? When you get like the startup and then you start becoming big, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that's probably your end goal, right? Like
success is my end goal.
Success is your end goal, right? So are you going to be continuing it till like the end of time?
I want that clothing line to support me and my family. So, you know what I'm saying? So
respect.
Because to be honest, I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to live around people per se, but I want to live like up in the mountains. Like I want to do like agriculture and stuff. Like end game. Like end game, like family end game, like right. End of life end game is like not even really on a ranch, but like up in the mountains somewhere, just with my own land, my own agriculture, growing my own food, have my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
all just because from
self-sufficient, pretty much.
Yeah, the self-sufficient.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, what inspired you to have like a clothing line, or like what made you like convince you like, all right, I want to kind of do a startup besides your boy like, let's do it. You know what I mean? And you kind of already were like, yeah, I'm in.
Well, that's something I've always wanted to do, to be honest. I think when I got into graphic design, I first started, because I've always been an artist, like, you know what I'm saying? I always drew. But I got introduced specifically into graphic design and like Photoshop and stuff like that in, I believe, either junior year or senior year in high school. Because we had a class that was called computer graphics.
Yep.
And we learned to do, I'm saying, like Photoshop, Illustrator. We did some animations as well. We made like a game or something like that.
That's cool though. Is like Photoshop and Illustrator like the main thing in that course? Like they just constantly do Photoshop, Illustrator?
We didn't do Illustrator as much, but we definitely did Photoshop and Adobe something. Whatever we used to make the game. I think we also use Photoshop in the game, but another Adobe program as well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we were doing that, and I think like at the end of the year, we had of course most people know about this one. It's kind of a meme by now, especially in the graphic design industry. Not to say that like I don't know the success rate of the people that go there, but it's just become a meme just because everyone knows about it. Full Sail University. I don't know if you ever heard of Full Sail University.
Where's that located? Maybe
it's Florida. In Florida, I think it's Miami. I think it's Miami.
Is it Miami? I have no idea.
It's Full Sail University. It's mainly geared towards graphic designers, like pretty much artists, and I think they do music and like video games as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So video game development. So it's a lot of visual arts. It's mainly like a visual arts school, is what it is. But it's I guess it's just I don't know why it's blown up so much. Maybe they have just had so much of a success rate.
I mean, if you look at it now, especially in this era, there's just a lot of, especially with memes, that's already part of graphic design. You know what I mean? So now and then everyone's kind of chilling at home. Yeah. So that's another thing. When you chill at home, especially during a pandemic, graphic design I think gets big, and like it hits like its highest of the high. Because
I can see that.
Yeah, because like you know maybe there's like not much going on, but you can still do graphic designs literally in your computer. Yeah. So I always felt like that could be one of the main reasons. Again, I don't even know to the extent of why it went up. I'm just assuming that could be one of the good reasons. There
could be many reasons.
Yeah, there's so many so many reasons for that, but I could assume it's probably maybe because like with the whole pandemic happening, and then all these like maybe people that don't really do graphic design kind of started going into it.
Because, I think during the pandemic, it caused a lot of people to find new hobbies and change their professions. A lot of people quit their jobs. A lot of people have new jobs, like completely different jobs. Some people went back to school. Some people went to learn new trades and stuff like that. So,
isn't that crazy? Like how just a pandemic sets the tone for many people.
If anything, it would be a pandemic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
because that changes everyday life, you know what I'm saying?
Everyday life, and it changes. Maybe it could be good for others, maybe
I think it definitely was good for others.
Yeah,
it was definitely good for me and my mom specifically.
Oh yeah, how so? Yeah. If you want to go into detail on that.
Well, I mean, I'm not ashamed to talk about it.
Do tell.
She was in debt, credit debt for like the longest time. And she was able to pay it off.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm assuming you were probably just trying to do your best to help out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I was helping out as well, but it was gonna take much longer if it was me helping out because I'm not rich. Like,
same here, bro.
I have a crazy job or anything. I have like a regular job.
Give us 10 years. Give us 10 years. I'll see you. I won't be surprised that your company, like your clothing line's gonna go big.
I hope.
I might have like 6.
The sooner the better.
So you better be careful. You know what I mean?
Sooner the better for sure.
Exactly. But going to what you were saying, so your mom was in debt, but then when the pandemic came into the plate, it helped her a lot to give her some time to pay it off, off and stuff. And obviously you helped her pay it off as well. So now, how do you guys like feel now? Like, do you feel like
way better because I think she was actually getting what's the word? She was getting she didn't want me to feel like I was stuck there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm helping her pay rent because it's not cheap where we're living. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
knowing your mom, I don't. Like, I don't think I've ever met your mom personally.
No,
yeah. Like, I don't think I ever did. But I feel like when you said that she felt like, what's holding you up, I think meaning like, she wants you, like, you're still young. Like, she wants you to do your thing.
Yeah,
like, have fun,
exactly.
But then you have, like, this right perspective, too. Like, I also still want to help my mom. Because,
I have to. Like, I'm the only one she's got. You know
exactly. And that's why, like, again, it's the bonding. It's the love. You know what I mean? That's why I respect, like, what you were doing for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the same time, too, she wants to, be like, hey, like, I know you're helping me. I love that. But I also want you to, you're still young. I don't want you to be stuck in this hellhole that I put us in. You know what I mean? Like listen, like,
so
it's deep.
To be
like
honest,
that.
Most of the money that put her in debt was all pretty much used on me. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I didn't feel bad helping her. I felt good helping her pay it off because I was able to, you know what I'm saying, give back to her. So. It was all spent on me anyway. It wasn't like for selfish reasons or like spending it on stupid stuff. It was all on me anyway. Right.
And because it was kind of like you were given that, like, both of you were given that path to end up doing that. You know what I mean? But also blessed that you were given the chance. Both of you were given the chance to pay off the debt.
Definitely.
Even though the pandemic sucked because a lot of people were dying from it.
Of course.
Yeah,
that's the main reason. That's the main reason it sucked.
Yeah, exactly. I do also want to talk about something too, social media, technology. You and I, we love tech. I've seen your equipments when you brought that shit over here. I was like,
it was hilarious how I came over and you literally had the same equipment that I had.
And I looked at you, I'm like
slightly different, like a different model or something, but it was always the same equipment. It's like, you have this too? Oh, what the hell? Like,
I looked at you, I'm like, are we brothers? Like, my lost brother, where have you been?
Exactly. And we haven't seen each other for how long? And during our journeys, we just so gravitated to the same types of technology. Like,
I know when you pulled up with like your little tripod. What's that? What brand was it? It was
the DJI?
DJI, right? Yeah, it was a DJI. Because I know my dad has a DJI camera. Like,
the gimbal.
Yeah, that gimbal, you got me convinced. I might have to get that after this podcast.
Clean, bro. It's clean.
It's so fire, bro. But going back to the topic, so technology. You and I both love tech. We like to see like the interest of what's good for it in real time, But I do want to know this too. What do you think about technology like taking over this world? Like in terms of like, if you look at the era now, like where we are, everybody has a tech on them. Cell phones specifically, like everyone's just like staring at the phones. Do you think it's good for society, or you think it's bad for society?
It's like a two-edged sword.
Right.
So it can be used good for society, and it also can do damage to society. And I think more so to be honest, I can't really gauge how much because, to be honest, I limit, even when I got my IG, I limit how much I'm on it. So literally, and I've limited it more now because I'm busy and have other stuff to do, so I can't be on there.
Exactly.
Like I'm literally on there once like every other week. I'm on there once every other week, and that's just to post.
Right.
And then I'll catch up with like whoever sent me messages or whatever.
Right.
And people are like, oh, what's going on, man? You're not. I'm like, I'm not on here. You know that.
I barely go on.
Exactly.
Like I'm busy. I have a life. I mean, no offense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just doing my thing.
It is what it is. So I've never, like I said before, I've never even been into certain social media. I think I was on Facebook for the longest time. That was the only thing I ever used besides like text messaging and stuff like that.
You know what's funny? I always thought Facebook was like the all generation like social media because
it was definitely one of the bigger ones.
It's one of the bigger ones because I don't see my parents using. They have Facebook, but they don't use Instagram or Snapchat.
Exactly. Same thing with my mom. My mom wouldn't use anything, but she's got. I feel like all old people have Facebook. And what's that other one?
Zynga.
You
ever heard of Zynga? Zynga was like one of the.
I don't even know that one.
Yeah, it's old.
I think it's called Face something, not
FaceTime.
No, it's not FaceTime.
I just made that
something I don't remember what it's called, but all old people have that.
Right. Because I know Facebook is like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just all families just have Facebook. I think it's just because it's more family oriented.
It's not. There's nothing crazy about it. I mean, they've been adding stuff.
Yeah,
but it's just like a basic thing. It came after MySpace, and it was like the only competitor.
Yeah,
there's no one that competed with it. So
you know how excited I got when I saw a comment or I get a notification that I got a comment on MySpace. Like, I got hyped, or a friend request.
I was too late. I made MySpace like as soon as Facebook became a thing, and I was just like, what was the point?
Yeah, what was the point of this MySpace?
The only thing I liked about MySpace is that your music would play when you went on to other people's pages. That was like the one thing that I loved about MySpace. I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, and it's also I practiced a little bit of HTML coding because of MySpace. Yeah, because MySpace you can always like change your background. Yeah, you just have to add like URL links and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty dope.
It was super dope. You were able to customize your own page. Like
but if you look at
Facebook,
if you look at it now, it's not like what it was. It's literally more like for specifically music, which is fine because
I mean it had that music mechanic in it. So
but it's more like I've only seen like music artists mainly use them MySpace.
I'm gonna make a MySpace.
I think I was gonna think in my head like, man, I'm surprised that you didn't have a MySpace for your like production or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I honestly it never even crossed my mind. I think it crossed my mind once. And I went just to see what was going on the website because I didn't really know what was going on there. But sure, I'll just make it just to make it, just for nostalgic reasons.
Yeah, just for nostalgic reasons. Because MySpace back then, this is the Tom Anderson days. Like Tom Anderson, I don't know for those that like didn't have MySpace. Tom Anderson actually was the guy that created MySpace before it completely changed, and I think he quit.
Yeah, I think iconic picture of
you know what I'm talking about? You like this?
Everyone knows exactly.
Like, one of those, like I think that's what his picture was. It was
like him in the corner of his room or something, like giving a thumbs up.
You know the best part too? Like the minute you create MySpace, he was like the first friend that just automatically comes into your.
He programmed it so he literally was your first friend. When
Literally,
you got on there,
to that day, I always wondered how many friends he had. He probably had millions of friends, like literally.
As many people as there were ever on MySpace.
On MySpace, right?
So he literally has the count of how many were ever on MySpace.
Exactly. Yeah. I love how we were just talking about it's just too nostalgic, you know what I mean? But going back to Facebook, Facebook was like the main trend. Like everybody does it. But then when you go in, you'll start to see newer eras. So like I think for us it was Instagram.
Definitely Instagram, Snapchat.
I think TikTok is the newest era.
TikTok is new, because weren't they called something else before?
Vine. For us, it was Vine. But
Vine, okay. So Vine is also our generation as well.
Right. So Vine, but the thing is, Vine was like, it was 6 seconds when like you have to record something for 6 seconds and that was it.
No, what I was saying was TikTok, I believe, was called something else before it was called TikTok.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think it was it Musical.ly or something like that?
I have no idea. I just know.
I think it was Musical.ly because I remember seeing it, and it was a bunch of these little kids like doing songs. I'm like, this junk is so cringy. and then if I'm correct. From what I saw, it was either cringy or it was like AMV stuff, like anime music videos, which are pretty cool. And then I believe they changed their name to TikTok. I may be wrong, but I feel like I heard that or read that somewhere.
I'll look it up. Maybe I'll probably add like a comment on the video screen. Just it's actually.
I could probably look it up right now.
Yeah, go ahead, look it up.
But yeah, TikTok. I actually do have a TikTok because I had some funny.
Oh, I'm scared.
I had some
for production purposes.
Funny videos. No. Like just real stuff that was happening in real life that I recorded. Oh, and I was everyone's making TikToks, and I was like, I might as well just share this with the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so. I think TikTok is I think it's a good and bad. It's bad both, because you get addicted. Like
it's definitely both good and bad.
Yeah.
I think my supervisor were talking, and he said something about they were thinking of banning TikTok or
I wouldn't be surprised.
Becoming more strict, getting more strict on them.
Gotcha.
Because of certain stuff that's going on. I don't know exactly what's going on, but like I said, I haven't been on TikTok in like a year, but I just have it.
Yeah, you just have it just because like you want to see like the feed. Maybe
and I was uploading to it, so.
Right. And then I always thought too, like because of TikTok, it made me think about it too, like with social media in general.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about tech and then going into social media, I was thinking in my head like that's where I feel like. And with the pandemic happening, I feel like we're just all like just staring into like a screen. And I always thought to my head like, man, like for those that just do nothing outside of the virtual world, like it just creates like a depression, anxiety kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's books about that. There's tons of like documentaries about that of how it creates depression.
Yeah,
because you base a lot of your life and like almost like the meaning of your life based on what other people are doing. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that the people who are on those making those type of videos, like those like high energy type videos,
right?
Like it's not their life like 24/7. Like this, it's like a highlight during their day or
during their
like
day.
That.
Yeah,
it's not everyone, nobody's life is 100% all the time. Unless you're like I don't know, like a hitman or something.
Yeah, like unless you're hitman, that's a different story. That's exactly. A different story.
But for people to base their life on what other people are doing it's not worth it. Like you have your own life to live. Like it doesn't have to be what everyone else is going through. If it's not like them, like you shouldn't be depressed about it.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. That's why like I know I did this on my audio podcast talking about social media and what it can damage to your brain, or damage to you mentally and emotionally. You know, because like it's cool to be on social media and it's good to communicate with people that you haven't seen in a while, like of you course, and I. You know, but like for some, not all, like only the few that just kind of just stare into the social media and just like do nothing. And I'm just like. Take that out of your brain, just go. You know what I mean? Like just go out and do something because it's gonna bother you. And then when you're gonna see people like having fun and you're just like, oh, I'm just like chilling at home. Like, well, do something. You know what I mean? Like, do something. That's why I always thought like with that question about technology, I was like, do you think like it's good for like this? I mean, yeah, it's innovating, which is great, but is it going to be good for the future? I think it could be both, to be honest.
Like I said, like I said, both. It's a tool. It depends on how it's used.
Right. I always thought like work, like job wise, it's a different story. Like if you're like like you're
making money off of
it. Like a social media marketer, that's a different story. You know what I mean?
Totally different.
Like I always thought like, okay, that's for the job, but in terms of like anything else, like I don't want to stare at my phone all the time. Like I can't. I gotta go to the gym. I'll like stare at it and just be like, all right.
Like cool, sometimes it'll happen, especially for me, someone who's not on their phone all the time. Like, I'll go on Facebook and I'll just...
Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it makes sense, and I see how other people get drawn into it because there's just tons of... Like, you're just scrolling, and there's always something new.
Like, something new, Exactly. And especially when you like pages.
Yeah.
When you like pages, like, it'll just be like...
Which I have some, so... Yeah. They'll pop up, and I'll like, oh, that's a cool post. Like, it'll usually be, like, anime or something like that, so... Yeah,
I'll
New artists or something like that.
New artists, I'll look at my my news feed. Okay, family picture. Okay, cool friend. All right, that's a nice status. LeBron James gets traded. I'm like, wait, what? Where did this come? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I got to make sure it's the right source because it won't say like NBA. It'll say like Fox, like FAUX, like Fox Sports. And I'm like, all right, no, that can't be true. I got, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I always thought to myself with the technology nowadays because. Yeah, like for us, I feel like you know, you can agree or disagree on me on this, but do you think like our era, like the 90s, do you think like that generation kind of has the best of both in terms of like old school and tech? Do you think that?
Well, oh, by the way, TikTok was Musically.
It was. How do you spell that? Like
Musically or Musica, and then I think .ali or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. So going back to the question,
our generation was the generation that saw the progression of the internet.
Yes. Okay.
So we started out. Specifically me as a '90s child, I started out. You know what I'm saying? Playing outside all the time.
Right.
Eventually, you know, Sony came out with the PS1. I got that. I was playing that. I was over at my friend's house. We were playing that. And we'd still play outside.
Right.
But progressing up through there, internet started becoming, what's the word? Not in tune, but implemented in schools now.
Yeah, especially with like
in elementary school.
Right.
Yeah, we were getting computers now. We had classes on how to use a computer, how to use the internet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To think that was even a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like I wonder if they probably do still do that just to teach you like typing and stuff.
Typing
like that.
and stuff. Mavis Beacon. You ever heard of Mavis Beacon?
What's that?
Mavis Beacon.
Mavis Beacon. Who's that?
It's like one of like those typing like teaching
it's like a
software. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I never heard of that.
Yeah, I just remember that like when I was in preschool, kindergarten, like it was like ASDF, and then
yeah, those are the first ones.
And then like once you after you do the trial, then you're all right. Try to see how fast you can type.
You have to do it fast and do it without looking. At the keyboard. Yeah.
I'm just glad I took computer keyboarding in high school freshman year, because if it wasn't for that, I will be like. But I'm actually thankful because like I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal until like you said when when things started progressing and we were having like this MacBook.
Insane,
or like what's it called, the Microsoft and all that shit. Like we're just like
the cloud that's even a thing. Like what?
Yeah, and going back to like the topic at hand too, like I think we are like the last generation to see it. Like I think the 80s too were a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Because they were like they got more of the old school vibes than us, because we had a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, and they're still seeing it.
And they're still seeing it.
They really like they. I'm gonna put it this way: they started from the Stone Age and they went to the Jetsons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like literally, like they saw Flintstones and then Jetsons, and
exactly.
then they have to question
all in between.
Yeah, and like it's just funny to me. And then when you go to like the 2000, I don't know what their generation is called. I think they're like the iGen. I don't know.
Is that? I think it's. Is it not X, or is that X is?
Maybe it's X. I don't know, but I know like it's 2000 and then more.
I think it's X. I think now it's Z. I think it's Generation X.
It's X in 2000?
I think so.
Okay, so like Generation X and I guess Generation Z, because that's where we are right now. They have like I think in Gen Z right now, I've seen kids with iPads. Like little kids,
I've seen
like
toddlers
with iPads. But that's because now things are on screen. I mean, like Netflix,
visual and you can touch it and whatnot. But
I went on Netflix. I saw like every time we go on Netflix, they always show the top 10 that's big right now. I saw like 3 little kids like shows that were on top 10. I'm like, I gotta check the dinosaurs. What?
Let me check that out.
I just the 30 seconds. I just want to see what's even all about. And then I saw it. I'm like, all right.
The same thing. That's like one of the biggest market is children.
Yeah.
If not the biggest market. If you go, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know who the most popular YouTuber is, or like the top 10 channels. I guarantee in the top 10 channels there will be a children channel somewhere in there.
No, probably.
Do you see the views on those videos, bruh?
No, I
they be having like 100 million, like 1,000 views, bruh.
100 million. 1,000? I never heard such.
Bruh, like I've seen ridiculous
such statement.
Like I saw digits on there I've never seen before, bruh.
What the fuck?
I've seen some of these kids videos, bruh, because literally what they do is they put the kids videos on and then they just let them babysit their kid pretty much,
and just like have them just watch it and just.
That's literally it. That's all they do.
We didn't have that luxury. We had like I don't know, a basketball, and it
did the same thing.
Did the same thing, yeah.
And I actually learned something. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'm against that. Like I would never do that.
Yeah. So like when you have like a kid one day, right? Like you.
Bro, I'm not having a TV in my house. My children will grow up in the 90s.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, I would do the same thing too. I think
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna have a TV, but I'm definitely gonna limit it a lot.
You limit it
because
a lot.
I want them to experience like I said, the 90s. So I want them to experience like video games and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm putting a strong limit on it.
Do you think you're gonna get yourself like a box TV, like VHS? Like here,
To
you're
get
gonna
them to
learn
play
what we.
it?
Like, oh, you want this MacBook? No, bitch. Here, have this VHS.
You're gonna struggle with this one first.
Yeah,
like,
this is Barney. You know what Barney is?
it's not working. Tap the top of it. Fix the antenna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, you want to watch TV? No. You're gonna play Monopoly with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I feel the same way. Like, I feel like if I have a kid one day, I feel like I don't know. I feel lenient but strict. That's
yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have to let them do what they want to do.
Exactly.
You can't control them forever, and you can't control every single thing they do. So
yeah, but still,
you just have to be a good influence.
Yeah, but I ain't giving my kid an iPad. Fuck that.
No,
I can't give my kid an iPad.
No, I
Holy shit!
Not to say that every time I see it, I'm like judging people, but I look at it and I was just like, not me. I'm definitely not doing that.
Yeah, like I'm not. I ain't
not
doing
my child.
I ain't doing
so
shit.
You try the way you want.
Yeah. What did we have back then? Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Was
my first Game Boy was my dad bought me a Game Boy Advance SP.
Ooh,
remember the one with the light, the flip, and it had the light.
Yeah,
bruh,
that was actually
clean.
That was
clean, bro.
What was the first game you got?
First
for the
game
SP?
was Sonic Advance.
Sonic Advance.
Yeah, Sonic Advance. I believe it. I think it came with the SP.
Who was the other the red one?
Knuckles, bro.
Knuckles.
What you mean,
Okay,
the red one, bro.
I'm like, I forgot. I'm like, I know Sonic.
Bro.
Yeah,
disrespectful.
See,
bro.
This is my old school mentality. I'm like, I should have known this. You know what I mean? I know. You know, now that I remember Knuckles, I feel like an inside joke if I tell you.
What? Is this some
Queen? You don't remember, like
I'm vaguely remembering.
It's one of like those funny ass videos. The guy just like made like, oh, the queen. You know what I'm talking about? I forgot how it goes.
Are you talking about the
like these multiple Knuckles, like just
what country is that? Uganda.
Uganda, yeah, it was like one of the Ugandas, bro. That's what I always thought about Knuckles, man. That's why if I hear the name, I'm gonna picture the Uganda,
specifically
like
that Knuckles, the mean
version
of Knuckles.
Yeah. These viewers are probably like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, everyone watching this should know what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, all of you.
That is
like,
a big meme. The
big
Ugandan
meme, or
if you don't know what it is, look it up, bro. Ugandan Knuckles, bro.
Big meme or big disappointment? Fuck.
They also had the Russian one. The Russian one was funny too. They had that on. Someone did that on VR chat.
Oh, on VR chat?
Yeah, the joke was hilarious.
I think I might have seen
in a little
that
tank.
One.
I was dying.
Oh, I got to see that one.
The joke is hilarious.
Yeah, no, but so yeah, as '90s kids, like we actually had like
we saw it all.
We saw it all, yeah, and now we're about to see what the future is gonna be looking like. You know what I mean? So it's like I think it's like as we get kids, I think it's our goal to destine them to like. Do we want them to really like thrive the future of technology?
Yeah, because we're seeing all the negative it can do as well.
Exactly. So it's like, at least when we see it, you know. But the thing is too, it's like we don't want to hold them back with technology. You know what I mean? But
of course.
Like you said, like we want them to feel like excited outside the technology life. You know what I mean? Like there's things out there like
they don't need the technology, but it's a good tool to use.
It's a good utilized tool to use, not just stare at like social media. No. You know what I mean? Hell no, fuck that.
Be a hermit.
Yeah, that's why. That was actually the reason why I wanted to ask you, because you know, like the generations are different. You know what I mean? And that's why, like with you, I always was curious because you're a tech guy. You're a techie guy, tech sav, and also styled up too.
I think that goes into the because like one of my favorite genres is like dystopian. That which also plays into the tech wear and all that, but I just like dystopian, futuristic type stuff. So like Cyberpunk 2077, all that. So
you ever heard of this is more like a genre in music? Maybe you might know vaporwave.
Of course.
Yeah, that was like I always thought when you said future, I think like vaporwave.
Well, actually,
it's trippy as fuck.
Dystopian music is actually a genre.
Dystopian?
Yeah, dystopian music is actually a genre.
What does it sound like? Is it like just kind of like...
sounds like...
Future?
The only way I can tell you how it sounds like is to help you, like, give you a visual.
Oh, it's a visual?
So it sounds like you're going through like the desert. Like there's like collapsed buildings everywhere, but you're going through a desert, and there's like tribal people.
But
like,
do they make like this?
But it's like they've just made their own civilization. Like they were at height, and then they collapse, and then they're just building up again.
Gotcha.
Now they make their own like instruments and stuff like that. But yeah,
future funk, city pop. I just love the like nostalgia.
There is a real nostalgia there.
Yeah, I just get like, for some reason when I hear it, I feel like I'm back in like the 80s in the beach. Like just kind of
literally what it is.
Like
it's
literally
like 80s Japan. In the beach, pretty much.
Basically, yeah. And I just feel at peace. You know what I mean? That's why I enjoy listening to the music all the time. Not all the time, but like when I have I kind of feel like listening to it. You know what I mean? Especially in the summer.
That's the same thing with vaporwave. It's just slowed down, like super slowed down and stretched out, reverb, over reverb, like 80s music.
Like they would say, like they would take like a lyric, and then they would just loop it. Then they would
drag it out,
they fade in, fade out.
I love that. There's this one specific because there's also subgenres of vaporwave. There's like mall wave, where it literally makes you feel like you're in a mall.
Simpson wave. You
heard of Simpson wave? Yeah, that's the thing.
I do like the mall waves because you know what? When you watch it on YouTube, they played the mall wave and then they just add like the dead mall.
Yeah, or they add like some old, like ambient like sounds in it.
80s mall, and they're just like, wow, I feel like I'm there.
Exactly. In the 90s or the 80s. So.
Yeah.
But there's one specific one that I heard on this one album, and I was just like, this is not even music, but this is like relaxing as hell. I forget what it's called. It's called
lo-fi? No, lo-fi has music.
No. Lo-fi is cool too.
Yeah, lo-fi is dope.
But it's literally this album is literally like 80s and 90s commercials. And it's like slowed down and it's in Japanese, but there's also like music behind it.
I know
it's like really about. Like slow music. I don't know if it's called like analog wave or something like that. I don't know what it's called.
Analog wave? I'm about to analog my ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might just take the analog stick and just rotate my ass out of here at that point.
Junk,
that kind of...
Bro, that junk was so weird to me, but so nostalgic. Like, I've never heard something before that I know for sure I haven't heard before, but it still feels nostalgic.
It just feels nostalgic. Yeah. Because, again, that's how your brain processes it. You know what I mean? Everyone's brains just process it differently. You know what I mean? Like you and I are similar to it because when we hear it, we're like, "Ooh, this is actually pretty cool." You know, because it's creative.
Yeah, exactly.
It's innovative. You know what I mean? And for others, like it's just not their taste.
Yeah, of course, which is understandable. Like it's like borderline experimental.
Yeah.
So and me, I listen to like everything. So
yeah, there's a couple times actually like I played it, and so, like in the car with like a few friends like with me. And then, like, some actually will be like, yo, this is actually pretty vibey. And then some are like, all right, fucking change this shit. Please go to, like, rap or something, like R&B or, like, rock.
For some people, rock, it's too repetitive. And For a lot of people, it's, like, really relaxing. Yeah. I used to play it a lot when I used to work at night. I literally made a playlist called Late Night Shift. And it was all
that sounds
vaporwave.
About right.
People would walk back here and be like, why is there like a whole vibe back here? It's like, why is it just you?
It's like, why? What are you doing, bro? Like, why are you making it
for real?
Right now?
Like, why is it so relaxing back here, man? You make me not want to go back to work.
Yeah, it just makes you want to like just lay down, like not sleep, but it just makes you it just finds your place. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
More relaxing music.
Yeah, that's why again, music always to me, just in general, music I just love. Like,
of course,
the sound waves of it, and then just the creativity of like unique genres like dystopia or
and I like
vaporwaves.
I like exploring like subgenres and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, that's the future for you.
We gotta do another one, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a lot more to talk about for sure.
Oh yeah,
it felt so short to me, and I've done like podcasts like.